The farmer was shocked when he saw a she-wolf protecting an abandoned baby. What happens when a farmer drives his tractor into the fields and comes across a strange pile of hay? His curiosity piqued, he approaches, but suddenly, a deep, menacing growl stops him in his tracks. Heart pounding, he cautiously steps closer, only to discover something so unexpected that it stuns everyone. A mysterious discovery in the meadow. On a warm July morning, Paul, a hardworking farmer, felt a sense of contentment as he drove his tractor through the lush green alfalfa fields. After hours of labor, he decided to take a break and wandered toward a small grove of trees. There, something unusual caught his eye: a strange pile of hay and debris. Intrigued, he cautiously prodded it with his pitchfork. But before he could react, a deep growl sent shivers down his spine. Expecting to uncover a snake or some other small creature, Paul was stunned to find a wolf hiding beneath the pile. But that wasn't all. Just a few steps away, Paul spotted something even more shocking: a tiny baby's arm peeking out from the pile. His heart pounded as he rushed closer, relieved to find the baby alive, seemingly kept warm by the wolf's body. It was an unusual and heartbreaking sight. Looking around, Paul realized that someone must have abandoned the baby, possibly during the night or early morning. The infant was wrapped in a thin shawl, barely enough to shield it from the cold. The situation was desperate, and Paul knew he had to act fast. Paul had been working in the alfalfa fields since sunrise and hadn't seen a soul nearby. Whoever left the baby must have done so under the cover of darkness before dawn. As he took in the unbelievable scene before him, Paul realized that the wolf had likely kept the baby warm through the cold night. The thought amazed him. Perhaps the animal had sensed the baby's vulnerability and, in an unexpected act of compassion, tried to protect it. Or perhaps she thought the baby was one of her own. Paul didn't know for sure, but he understood that if the baby was going to survive, it needed human help. Without wasting any time, he grabbed his phone. His hand shook a bit as he called the one person he knew could help in such a tricky situation. When the call connected, Paul felt a bit embarrassed. He was calling Dr. Brenda Taylor, the new doctor in town. He'd been attracted to her since they first met, even though he wasn't sure about some of her different ideas. He couldn't ignore how he felt drawn to her. She brought excitement to his otherwise ordinary life with her shiny hair and playful eyes that hinted at a love for adventure. Paul quickly told Dr. Brenda about the situation, knowing she could help the baby. He felt relieved when he sent her the location and then turned back to the wolf and the baby. An unlikely guardian. He didn't know how to safely approach the wolf. He didn't have a gun, just his pitchfork, which wouldn't help. He didn't want to hurt the wolf, especially since it had been kinder than the person who left the baby. But the wolf was growling protectively near the baby, making it hard for him to take it. Then he got an idea. What if he treated the wolf like a dog? People said wolves and dogs were similar, right? So maybe the wolf would understand him. He tried to be friendly, saying nice things to the wolf, but she wasn't impressed. She looked like she might attack. But then he remembered his lunch. Slowly and carefully, he went back to his tractor where his lunch was. He gave the wolf some of his sandwiches, hoping it would distract her. At first, she growled at the sandwich, but then she smelled the meat and got interested. She wasn't sure if she should trust him, but she didn't want to leave the baby alone with him either. While she was distracted by the sandwich, he quickly grabbed the baby. As they prepared to leave, Dr. Brenda arrived, flare gun in hand, ready to help. Together, they quickly checked the baby and were relieved to find him safe despite the frightening ordeal. A bond had been forged in the wild. In the days that followed, Paul felt an undeniable connection to Dr. Brenda. Her kindness and resilience left a lasting impression on him. As they cared for the baby side by side, their friendship deepened, growing stronger with each passing moment. As months passed, the baby thrived under their care, bringing Paul and Dr. Brenda even closer. With each passing day, Paul found himself drawn to her, feeling a deep happiness and fulfillment in her presence. One afternoon, they enjoyed a peaceful picnic with their adopted son, marveling at how life had unfolded in the most unexpected ways. As Paul gazed into the distance, he spotted a wolf watching from afar. In that quiet moment, he couldn't help but reflect on fate, the journey they had taken, and the extraordinary bond that had brought them all together. In the end, it didn't matter whether it was a dog or a wolf. What truly mattered was the love and care that united them. Despite the challenges they faced, their bond remained unbreakable. And with Dr. Brenda by his side, Paul felt confident that together they could overcome anything. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.